Flix Talkers, we finally have the official unrated trailer, uncensored trailer for the new Toxic Avenger remake from Troma. I'm so extremely excited for this one as I am a big Troma fan. It does star Elijah Wood, Peter Dinklage playing Toxie, and this was one of those movies where you don't take anything seriously. If you're going into Troma movies thinking that this is going to be a serious project, you obviously don't understand this brand of horror. So it is, first and foremost, extremely low budget studio that has been doing film for over 30 years, I believe. And when this project was announced nearly 4 years ago that it had wrapped up its remake, I was like, this is not going to work for a modern audience. Kudos to them for getting some big names, but this has been in production hell for such a long time. Now, flash forward 2 years after the initial announcement that this film was being wrapped up, 2023, we finally get some pictures from Elijah Wood, from Kevin Bacon, and things started to look a little promising, kind of on the up and up, and got the horror community a little bit intrigued, at least for me. Then years pass by, nothing happens from this, and then we get to see a little Toxie pop up, cleaning the earth, saving the day. We even saw him on St. Patrick's Day, making an appearance in Chicago on the Green River when they kind of pour that dye into the river for St. Patty's Day. It was fun. It was awesome. Toxie is here, right? Even the studio's gearing up for this Halloween because we know everybody and their mama, including kids, want to be Toxie this season, right? And this brings me to today. We have the official unrated trailer, as we did get a teaser trailer months ago, which I thought was just okay. It definitely followed the vein of a Troma type of movie. Once again, you have to kind of know what Troma is even about to understand and appreciate this kind of practical gore, this script making, if you even want to call it that, because sometimes the dialogue in these movies is so bad, it's unbearable. It makes you want to turn it off. But that will possibly differentiate you, an elevated horror fan, from a Troma fan that's kind of the bottom of the barrel. And I use that word lightly. Trust me, I don't mean any disrespect. I love these movies to death. Toxic Avenger is no different. I love all the absurdity of the Toxic franchise. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. Make sure to hit that big thumbs up. Consider subscribing today for more.
Armed political extremists have taken hostages downtown.
Somebody do something!
Wait! Stop! We'll get to all of that. Just relax, okay?
Okay, now just looking at the logos and everybody involved, these are the same people that brought you Terrifier, so that is very promising. My next gripe already, and I know we're only less than 20 seconds in. For a Troma movie, this looks too high budget. And I know people are going to be like, what do you mean? Isn't that the whole point? No, it's not. You watch any Troma film, it looks extremely low budget. That is the whole point. They pride themselves on being a low budget company that employ the most extras, the most people on set for the lowest price. Okay? And they dump in a lot of the money into the practical. That's where they shine. Sometimes this can be jarring when a studio gets a hold of something that's such low brow or frowned upon, and they make it look too clean, too polished. That's all I'm going to say.
We'd lost Shelley a year ago. These days, it's just me and the kid.
It looks great.
I'll just scrape off the black part. That part's pretty good.
Now give him back.
I don't want to hurt him.
Why didn't you do anything?
Sometimes it's better to do nothing.
It's going good.
You're saying that this corporation would knowingly poison its own customers just to boost their own profit margins?
Summon the nuts.
Okay, summoning the nuts.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, are they going to dump him in this? Because we're getting a different plot as it is.
I didn't want any of this. I'm a monster.
You're not a monster. Show.
Hold on, I have to get a look at this monster. I had said this before in the initial teaser trailer. It looks too polished once again. The reason why things like this worked back then is, yeah, it was film, grainy, VHS, DVD, whatever have you. You were able to hide the imperfections. The one thing that I hate a company to do is when they get an elaborate suit like this, they never make it look slimy. It's so dry. And it's like he's supposed to be covered in toxic sludge all the time. I mean, there's boils all over him. Why are they not leaking pus? So it looks too dry, too clean cut. Even the outfit itself. Have they not followed vagrants walking around to look at how clothes are? Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm already butchering this and I'm a minute in. All right, so far, not so good.
Show him your good heart.
Hey, buddy, I'm your dad.
What the?
I wasn't even involved. But sometimes, you gotta do something.
Who the fuck are you?
Just some dude with a mop!
I'm screaming the prayer, holding hands up to God.
How does it feel to be a hero?
A simple melody.
Do you realize what's at stake here?
Everything!
Find him, bring him here.
There you are.
Only the good things in life, that's all that matters.
That was just self-defense. You haven't killed anyone else, have you?
See, when you say, self-defense,
Only the good things.
He's an ugly son of a bitch, though.
That's all that matters to me.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
Okay. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm not too thrilled about that. I don't want to go through and pause because I'm just going to be making my point more and more and more. So a lot of this does not look practical. And that's the disappointing part in all of this. This is going to divide us. This is really, really going to divide us. And I understand, guys, you know, there's a huge community of people that do love practical. I'm one of them. But at the same time, I can appreciate the wackiness of everything, like in a Final Destination Bloodlines, which just came out, and that's pretty much purely CGI death, right? So I can understand the wackiness, the absurdity of everything. Now, that being said, this is a franchise, once again, that thrives on practical, that thrives on the storyline, driving it home. Now, that's where I give it its kudos. There's always some kind of underbelly of the one percenters or someone that is trying to take over the land in these Toxic films and, you know, push people out and just screw people over, right? The conglomerates. Now, that I kind of saw with Elijah Wood's character, Kevin Bacon, also this guy that got his arm ripped off. Don't know who he is. He looked like Glenn Powell for a second. So they are kind of following certain formulas. Another thing I noticed, if you go back and watch the original Toxic, and yes, I'm going to keep going back to the originals and comparing, this is a remake. I mean, it's considered a remake, a reboot, right? Toxic's voice changes in the movie. He changes from a nerdy guy, and I know they changed the story a bit, from a nerdy guy who got bullied and thrown into a vat of toxic waste to this Batman-esque, you know, my voice is now growly.
Oh, Julie, oh, Julie, I'm here.
Okay, turn on the lights.
Together. Oh, you're so soft, Julie.
My little Melvin. He must have finally reached puberty.
I didn't notice a voice change at all. Peter Dinklage still sounds like Peter Dinklage. I hate that. You have to differentiate. You have to differentiate. That's how he was able to disguise himself from the people that knew him. And in this one, he has a son who can definitely tell, hey, that's my dad. Not just because the size stature, obviously, maybe that's the joke, but the voice. Now let's get to this blood and gore that they implemented using a lot of CGI. I'm very disappointed. I am very, very disappointed, especially at the end. You know, he throws the mop, and I don't even remember the mop being that much of a weapon, if I'm being completely honest, from the original, I think it's trilogy or 4 movies. The guy's head explodes, and it's just CGI heaven. I'm really upset that they skimped out, and they just, you know, yeah, there's a couple of cool kills and the way it looks inside the restaurant or whatever it is, the burger place, which, by the way, there's a lot of similarities to some of those locations from old Trauma movies. So they try to make it with the crowds and stuff like that. The whole thing, once again, and this is going to be a Trauma rant, is that these films felt like guerrilla style. It didn't feel like there was a script whatsoever. When people had the camera shoved in their face and they were giving their, you know, reactions or just their dialogue, nothing felt scripted. That's what made these movies pure. And I'm speaking up for the Trauma community. Please drop it in the likes down below, because I can't be the only one that watched these movies. You guys know it felt authentic. It felt different than a regular horror movie. That's why we kept watching them. That's why we kept rewinding the parts that made us gasp and gag. And they're fucked up movies. That's the whole point, is they are fucked up movies. This is slated to hit theaters on August 29th, 2025. I might go see this to support, as I believe that Lloyd Kaufman is involved. Believe it or not, this mother effer is still alive and kicking. But I believe he is involved. Don't quote me on that, as some kind of producer or something like that. So that's awesome. I do like the cast involved. Jacob Tremblay is great. I forgot to mention him as well. You guys let me know your thoughts. Overall, I'm pretty disappointed, and I wish this would have looked better to me. It's cool in the fact that Peter Dinklage is doing something out of his realm. Elijah Wood's been doing shit like this for a while. Kevin Bacon has been kind of doing shit like this for a while. Jacob Tremblay has been in horror movies. You know, I believe it's the first time I saw him was in horror movies, to be honest. I believe Doctor Sleep for me. I know some of you guys saw him when he was younger, but that's my rant, guys. Jeez. I didn't know I was going to be going this long, but I wanted it to kind of just be real and authentic, like the Trauma movies are. All right, guys, I'm going to stop. Please hit that big thumbs up to support the channel. Consider subscribing today. Leave some comments below. And I know when I go on these rants, a lot of you guys go, oh, you're taking these movies too seriously. It's dubbed a remake, okay? You guys look that term up and you decipher what it's supposed to be like from the originals. And if you've never seen the originals, shut the fuck up, all right? Shut the fuck up. Don't tell me what a Toxic movie is if you've never seen a single Trauma movie or the original Toxic franchise. I'm gone. Peace.